Hello there, Margarita here, and I am thrilled that you have decided to join our Conscious Wealth community. Now, today I'm going to actually teach you the emotional freedom technique process before we quickly move into helping to shift some of what is holding you back from achieving wealth and abundance in your life. Now, before I get going, I just want to make a very clear distinction about the Conscious Wealth Institute. When I refer to wealth, I'm actually referring to a multi-dimensional state of being. What do I mean by that? I don't see wealth as one-dimensional, meaning it's just financial, it's just money. I see living a wealthy, truly wealthy life as being healthy, having great relationships, having a rewarding and satisfying career, loving life in general. Yes, finances is a part of it, being spiritually connected and alive. Whatever really floats your boat and brings balance and harmony to your entire life. That to me is wealth. However, today, once I teach you the emotional freedom technique process, what I'm going to do is focus on money, because I know that the majority of people are really struggling with money. Now, if you're not struggling with money, that's okay, because you can take the principles that I'm going to teach you today and turn that onto any particular area of your life that is not completely and totally satisfying for you. So firstly, emotional freedom technique. I'm going to run through these points really quickly because you may already be familiar with it. So the first tapping point is called the karate chop point. It's on the side of the hand and is called the karate chop point for an obvious reason. What we do is we tap there and we do what is called the setup statement. And what I'm going to do is get you to follow me through this whole process when we get started. So that's the karate chop point. The second point is the inside of the eye, or where the eyebrow starts. Now, it doesn't matter whether you tap on the right side, the left side, both sides. It's all good. Now the next point is the outside of the eye, which is just on the bony ridge on the side of the eye. Then underneath the eye, which is underneath where the eye is on the bony ridge again. The next point is under the nose, which is just above the lip. The next point is the chin point, which is the dimple or the crease, which is kind of midway between the chin and under the lip. The next point is the collarbone point, which if you find the knobby bits on your collarbone and just drop down an inch and then out a little bit, that's your collarbone point. Then we go under the arm, which for anybody is about 3 to 4 inches below the armpit, or for the women, it's right where the bra strap is. And then we go back to the top of the head, and this is the crown, the crown of the head. So we just tap on the top of the head up there in a little circle with a few fingers. It doesn't need to be really hard pressure, just firm pressure that you can feel. Don't bruise yourself. So it ends up being a bit of a question mark down there, and then we go to the top of the head, okay? But just follow along and repeat the phrases that I'm going to say, okay? So firstly, what I want you to do is think about your financial situation. Now, what happens with our system is that we can set up resistance. If we have negative feelings about a situation in our life, then we set up a vibration of resistance. Now, if you know anything about the law of attraction, like attracts like. If we are vibrating a vibrational match to what we want, then we'll attract it and allow it into our lives. If we are not a vibrational match, then we actually repel it. So if you can imagine, if you think about money and then feel any sort of stress, anxiety, fear, sadness, anger, shame, guilt, frustration, any of those kinds of emotions or anything else that's negative, then you are setting up a vibration that is repelling money away from you. So you may think about your situation and go, well, how am I supposed to not feel this way? This is the beauty of emotional freedom technique, because what it does is actually take the emotional charge away from your situation. Whatever your situation is, let me ask you, is it serving you? So if you think about your financial situation, if you feel any of those negative feelings, are they actually helping you to change your situation? I guarantee it's not. Because those feelings will actually stop you from being as receiving as much inspiration as you can. It will stop you from being as solution focused as you can be. It will stop you from being as creative as you can be, and it will stop you from being a vibrational match to what you want. So we are going to take the emotional charge today out of your feelings around money, or at least we're going to make a start. So what I want you to do is pause this video if you need to, but think about your current financial situation and be very, very real about it. Think about the debts that you have, think about the income that you have coming in. And then write down all the feelings that you feel about that. Now, you may only have one feeling that you can get in touch with, or you may have lots of different feelings. But write them down and then choose the one that is most dominant out of all those feelings. Now, what I'm going to do today is do a generic tapping round using a whole range of emotions. What I suggest you do is, once you have recognized what the emotions are, go back with this process and choose one emotion at a time, and take the time to take the most dominant emotion and bring it down. Keep tapping until you bring it down to a 0. And then choose the next emotion and the next emotion. I know that you want a really quick solution, and believe me, EFT is one of the quickest solutions you will find to take the emotional charge out of whatever your situation is. But it's not a magic pill. You still have to do some work, okay? All right, so I want you to do that. Write down all the emotions that you feel around money. Now, pick one. Pick the most intense one. Then rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. This is a really important part of the process. On a scale of 0 to 10, how intense is that emotion? Okay, now I want you to do this round of tapping with me, focusing on that emotion. Now, as I said, I'm going to do lots of different emotions during this tapping. If you want to just focus on that emotion, that's fine, or you can go through the range of emotions with me to get a hang on the process and then come back later and do it more in depth with your range of emotions. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so start by tapping on the karate chop point, which is the setup point, and repeat after me. Even though I feel these negative emotions around money, and it feels really uncomfortable, I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel really uncomfortable when I think of my financial situation, I have all these negative feelings. They're pretty intense. I deeply and completely love and accept how I feel about it. Even though I feel all these negative feelings about money, I choose to love and accept who I am and how I feel right now. Okay, now we're going to start tapping through the points, starting with the inside of the eye. Just follow me and repeat these phrases. I feel all these negative emotions. Outside of the eye. All this fear. Under the eye. All this sadness. Under the nose. I feel so stressed when I think of money. Chin point. I feel anxious. Collarbone. So much uncertainty. Under the arm. All this anxiety. top of the head. I feel stressed and anxious. Inside of the eye, I feel sad. Outside of the eye, I feel helpless when I think about my money situation. Under the eye, no matter what I do, it never gets any better. Under the nose, I feel all this negative emotion. Chin point, shame and guilt. Collarbone, frustration and anger. Under the arm, disappointment and sadness. Top of the head, all this negative emotion and helplessness when I think of my money situation. Okay, take a deep breath and let it out. The breath is actually helping to shift the energy. You may feel a range of different things when you're doing EFT. You can feel tingling, you may want to yawn, you may actually feel a buzzing sensation, even a prickling. There's all sorts of feelings and emotions that can come up when you start tapping. Now what I want you to do is think about your financial situation now and the emotion that you were focusing on at the time. And I want you to rate that on a scale of 0 to 10. Now for most people, that will have shifted down a little bit. Some people, it actually goes up because once we start focusing on the negative emotions, the reality starts to set in about what our situation really means to us. If we haven't been honest with ourselves, it may go up. As long as the number shifts, you know that you're doing good work. And as I said before, what you need to do is take an emotion and bring it right down to a 0. So you need to continue this tapping process until you get down to a 0. Now, a really important point here, you must stay well hydrated because we are an electrical energy system and you need to be hydrated to conduct the energy. You need to stay focused. You need to be in touch with the emotion to be able to get results, the best results with this. And another thing is that you don't get too caught up in the words. Just focus on the emotion. And then you can go ahead and tap on the actual situation that's creating the emotions. So don't get too caught up on what do I say? Is this right? Am I doing it right? As long as you are in touch with the emotion, you're doing great. Okay, so I'm quickly going to show you how you can do a positive tapping round. So once you've brought your feeling down to a 0, or even sometimes if you get down to a 2, you can do a positive tapping round, but I do encourage you to try and get it right down to a 0. Oh, one more thing. If you get stuck and the emotion isn't moving, then there is something else that is anchoring the emotion in there. You need to dive a little deeper, maybe choose another emotion. What is holding that emotion in your energy system that is keeping you stuck? So that's a little tip for you. If you're finding that it's not really working, then find what is anchoring the emotion in there for you. Okay? All right, cool. Now I'm going to show you a quick positive tapping round just so you can get the hang of it. So tapping on the karate chop point. Even though my financial situation is not great, I choose to be open to all the possibilities that are coming to me to improve my financial situation. Even though my financial situation is not that good, and I would really like it to be better, I choose to be open to all the possibilities of the universe and the infinite abundance that surrounds me all the time. Okay, starting with the inside of the eye. I am open to all the wonderful opportunities outside of the eye. That the universe is opening for me to have more money in my life. Under the eye. I'm open to the inspiration to receive more money. Under the nose. I choose to be open to receive more money. Chin point. I am really paying attention. Collarbone. To the messages the universe is telling me about how I can be more financially wealthy. Under the arm. I am looking forward to having more money coming into my life. Top of the head. I am really excited about all the money that is coming to me now. Inside of the eye. I know there are thousands of ways money could come to me. Outside of the eye. And I am open to receiving all the financial abundance under the eye that the universe is bringing to me now. Under the nose. I know that there is money coming into my life in a massive abundance. Chin point. Wave upon wave of money coming into my life. Collarbone. And I am open to receiving all the financial abundance coming my way. Under the arm. Because I live in an abundant universe. Top of the head. And I am open to the waves of abundance that are flowing to me now. And I am truly excited about all the possibilities. Okay, take a deep breath. Now, how are you feeling about your financial situation? Granted, we have only done a little bit of work on this. And the whole thing is that we do live in an infinitely abundant universe. Infinitely abundant. The thing is that your relationship to money is why you have your financial situation at the moment, or whatever situation that you have. It is a relationship that you have, that has been taught to you. So it came from your environment when you were a child. You may have even brought some of it through your memory, through your ancestors. Now that's something that we're going to get into in a future video. But it's your relationship to money that you need to change. It's your feelings about money that's going to help to change that relationship. So really pay attention to this and don't dismiss this crucial step. It is essential to you having more wealth, abundance, freedom, happiness, and joy in your life. It's very, very important that you pay attention to this and that you do this on a daily basis until you can feel at least neutral about your financial situation and let go of the stories that you have about money, whether it be that there's not enough, that I'm not good enough, that money is the root of all evil. Gosh, haven't we heard that one many times? There's just so many stories that we tell ourselves. But once you let go of the emotional charge, the negative emotional charge, then you can cultivate a positive feeling and relationship with money and your entire life will transform. Okay, so that's it for this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you would like to post any feedback on this video, please do so below on this page. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care and I'll see you soon.